Start this again. When I work with small business owners to increase their profit, which is the number one thing that I am hired to do, we go through a process that touches on what I call 12 levers that a business owner can pull. Things that they can do to move profit in the right direction. Sometimes, based on the types of business there's one lever that'll work the best. I found more often than not, this strategy of bundling works really, really well. Why is that? Well, let's take a step back and recognize that not everyone that comes in contact with your business is a now buyer. In fact, a very small percentage of them, of the people that you come into contact with, will be considered now buyers. Years ago, it used to be that a prospect had to experience you 5 or 7 times, see your message, before they would move to the next phase of buying. I recently saw a report or a comment by someone way smarter than me that said these days it's more like 30 touches. And honestly, I think that's because there's just so much noise that's out there. So many things that are trying to get and keep our attention. Now, there are things that you can do to shortcut that number, or like I say, help you move to the front of the line. Perhaps I'll talk about that another time. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. But back to bundling. Why am I not seeing this comment? Okay. Back to bundling. There are 2 paths to increase our profit. 2 basic paths: cutting costs and increasing sales. So cutting the bottom line or increasing the top line. To increase sales, we can increase the number of leads. We can increase the conversion rate. We can increase the number of times a customer buys and increase the amount they spend each time. Each of those can have a few tactics to get there. Bundling is such a great strategy to influence the amount spent each time. Every day, we as consumers, we're experiencing bundling. In fact, we're using bundling. Every time you go to the fast food restaurant, you're buying a bundle more times than not. Value meals on Amazon, they when you buy something, they advertise other people also bought. At a movie theater, you buy a 10-pack of tickets and you get popcorn half off. There's a good chance that you can apply this idea of bundling to your business. If you're a CPA, maybe you bundled the business owner's personal taxes with the business taxes. Actually, that's not a good example. Pretty sure every business accountant does the owner's personal taxes as well. Ideally, the bundling is based on things you provide. So, HVAC, if you want an HVAC build business, you bundle a repair with a service agreement. So you come out for the fix, and at the same time, you get them to buy a service agreement. But it doesn't always have to be something you provide. Like, I know an attorney that does business registrations. At the time, they also offer logo design, websites, marketing materials, branding, stuff like that. If you think about it, it's pretty smart because someone's starting a business and they're in the need. They're a now buyer. Now, the attorney doesn't necessarily have to provide those services. They can have a relationship with somebody else. I've talked about joint ventures before, and really build a two-way business referral relationship with another local business, a design company, or they don't have to be local, it could be anywhere these days. But the value of this is the fact that they are now buyers, and they're more apt to take action to buy other things. Now, I'm not a fan of trying to get people to buy things they don't need, right, just to raise the ticket value. But if there are things that the customer can take advantage of at the time of purchasing your thing, then I think that's a good strategy, and that's a good, honest path to take. And bundling, the thing to keep in mind is 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2. It can equal 3. It can equal 5. If you're intentional about the offering other things of value to someone that is a now buyer, the bottom line could be much bigger to you in terms of what your business gets out of it, and it'll also be a tremendous value to your customers, right? The people that are buying, saving them another trip, something they would have probably had to purchase 6 months from now. The fact that you're bundling it, you're putting it in front of them now. Most times bundling is at a net discount for the clients. The whole point behind bundling is for the business to think about ways to serve more in fewer touches. Someone's in, someone's ready to buy. How else can you add value to that customer's life that moment? When I go to Chick-fil-A, they know to give me a large fry and a large lemonade along with my nuggets. They've got a captive audience. I'm buying, and they're serving me, and they're not overselling me. But my average ticket value to Chick-fil-A is much higher because they're presenting me with a better buying situation. Most businesses can benefit from bundling. The whole point of this live is just to refresh your minds that if you sell a service or if you sell a product's a little bit easier to think about bundling. But if you sell a service, think about what happens perhaps before or after your service. There's going to be an opportunity for you to add to that ticket, right? To increase the value, the ticket value. And the more you do that, the more that positively affects your bottom line. So think about bundling. I'm curious, what can you bundle in your business? I'd love to see some comments below. And let's keep the discussion going. Bundle